Hey, it's your pal Terry Bain coming at you with another fun episode of Business Growth Time. Today, Janet E. Johnson's going to talk a little bit about Facebook advertising, some case studies, and the good work that she does for people. You might learn a couple of things, and you may want to have her do a couple of things. We'll see how this all goes. But before we get into it, I got to come up with an E word, Janet E. Johnson, and
You didn't even have an E word on the last
I
one. I'm
don't
shocked.
I was going to use even, and you said it as I was thinking it. I was going to call it even
Oh,
because we just did a podcast, like finished it 5 minutes ago, about what's going on, and it's not even by any strange to the imagination. But I like how you went through that conversation, and I felt that you were even keeled in it. So maybe even keeled's an even better word.
even. Yes, yes. And by the
So.
time they listen to this one, it's like, it will be about a month out, but
Well, we might spin these up a little faster because there's a timeliness factor.
yes.
You don't want to be talking. Well, maybe you do. Maybe Blackout Tuesday conversation needs to happen sometime in August too, because
It's
I have a
good.
sneaking
Well, this
suspicion
is a
it will.
long-term thing.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it needed
Exactly.
it was evergreen, right? The ideas shared will be applicable whenever you hear them.
Whenever. Yep.
So,
You got it. You
but
got
let's
it.
let's talk about what you got to talk about because this sounds like fun too. So we're going to talk about some case studies. I know you've
Yeah.
been doing crazy work for a mortgage company. I know you've done work in decking. I know you've done work in jewelry. I know you've done some other work with speakers and booking stuff. So is
Coaches.
there,
Yeah. Yep.
yeah, is there a specific
Well,
part that
it's
you
not
want to throw?
decking. Actually, it's home builders. I work more with the people actually the building the home from ground up. Yeah. So
Home builders. Yes, fair enough.
yeah,
I
you got it. You got it.
Did
Yeah,
I
I
make
mean,
up the deck thing? Are you
I
calling
don't
me a
know.
liar?
Yeah, I haven't done any deck companies yet, but I
Shit, I'm a
suppose I
liar.
could.
Yeah,
But contractors, period, any of that is kind of in that category, I guess. So,
nice.
so bottom line is, yeah, I mean, it's been we're going through the COVID times at this point too. So some people have pulled their ads. It's some people when COVID hit the very first week, not one of my clients wanted to run ads. So it was like silence, because we were all shocked at what was happening around the world. But once that we kind of got through that, the people that were essential businesses really realized, and this is how I put it, if you are in business, people want you to stay in business. And right now, there's seriously no better time to be running ads on Facebook and Instagram. So the cost has gone down a lot. Big brands, pulled their budgets, a lot of them. So we're not as competitive at this point. It's about the cost of 5 years ago.
Wow.
And we will see in the next 5 years that it will jump to a point where it might even be unaffordable for the small business, which is sad to say, and hopefully not, but it probably will come a time. I feel like Google's very tough at this point for small business. LinkedIn ads are very tough for small business, the cost of them, but Facebook rocks when it comes to small business. And honestly, if you're doing anything out there, whether it's magazines or, whatever type of ads that you're doing, you can keep doing those, but it's so data driven when it comes to Facebook and Instagram ads. So,
Well, 2020, the pricing had been going up, and 2020 was expected to be a very expensive year for small business. So interesting. That kind of got a little
it
wiped out, it sounds like.
COVID helped our costs go down. Yes,
Nice.
exactly. So it's a great time to be taking advantage of advertising. So I just wanted to go through because case studies, it's like the thing is we've gotten incredible results, and I would just want business owners to get an idea of what they should be looking at when it comes to the results with Facebook ads. And I'm not talking about doing a post. Here's the thing. What does work is true conversion ads. What works and is a guessing game is posting a video on your Facebook page, is doing a blog post and promoting it on your Facebook page, and maybe hitting the boost button and getting some video views. But is that a true conversion? it's brand awareness. That's the brand awareness level. You need some of that, absolutely. But what we do in our company is we focus on the actual leads, and we track the cost of the actual leads. And so I wanted to kind of walk through some of the results and what you should expect. So if you're doing these ads on your own, that's great. But I really want you to, instead of just hitting that boost button, start learning how to use the ads manager so that you can run. There's 3 types of ads. And I actually did a blog post. We can put that in this post that talks about the different objectives. But the 3 that I focus on are lead ads, where they fill in the form and you collect their information right inside Facebook. Messenger ads, they can send you a message. Or actual conversion ads where you have a tracking pixel and it's then you know who filled out the form with their information and you track it through conversions with the pixel. So those are the different types of ads. Does that make sense?
It
3
does.
ads. So we're tracking conversion costs, not just like what's a link click cost, what's a video view cost. We're tracking actual lead costs. So here's some of the companies that I've worked with, and I want you to understand the different companies and kind of the costs that are associated with it. If you're building an email list, for instance, and you just, want to get those leads coming in and you have a free giveaway, those average costs are $3 to $5. And most of the time we get the costs down. I work with the jewelry client I was working with, we were at $1.20 per lead for building the email list. I've been at others, freelance companies. She's a coach, so that's a coach. We were at $1.50 lead. And then, you can be higher. I've had a tech company who's trying to get to bigger lead costs for email list building, and their audience, I believe, is more competitive. And so we were at about $7 a lead. We're still working on getting that cost down because that's a brand new client, and we will. I'm not happy until it's down to about $3 to $5 a lead. Events, if you promote an event, you can actually create a Facebook event. We didn't talk about that, but
You remember events? Those were fun.
Events. I know. Well, now I promote events that are online. Exactly. My events are online. So I work with a church right now, and we target other churches. And that is approximately $2 to $5 a lead. And with those, we were getting about $2 to $3 per lead. And they've done very, very well with their marketing. And the interesting thing is it's all about, they've been training on how to have more church at home. And now they're forced to have church at home. So it's but they've been doing it for years. So it's kind of interesting. It's an interesting client to work with. My 2 big ones that you were talking about, though, is mortgage and builders. So let's talk about the builder client. Builders have an ROI. I want people to realize, like, here, you want to look at where are you going to go with your business? Like, what is the cost? So if you're, take a guess, Terry, you know mortgage and real estate pretty well. What is an average mortgage? If you get one mortgage as a mortgage broker, how much profit do you make? What's the commission on that, would you guess?
I don't know what it is now, but I've seen it be ridiculous. I'm guessing it's probably $3,000 though on a $300,000 loan. I think
Sure.
it's probably 1 point.
Sure.
So that's a decent deal.
Yeah. So let's just say it's $3,000. So how much is a lead worth at that point? If you have 3,000, so let's just say, let's break this down. You close 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10 leads. Right now, the client that I'm working with, he wakes up every day. I'm going to be doing an interview with him. He said this to me. He said, I expect every day I'll have a new lead in my inbox, because he gets pretty much a lead every day with our Facebook ads. And he's currently paying $20 a lead. So
I was going to say, if you pay $300 to make $3,000, that's a 10% cost of sale. Most average people would do that all day, every day.
Exactly. So I just want people to understand, like,
and you're
lead,
at 200, which is less.
Yeah, a lead is worth the value of the ROI, and it is. We are trying to get quality traffic, not just traffic. The housing category is a little more difficult because they put some stipulations on Facebook ads, so we can't deeply target as much, but we still geographically target it. And we're targeting, like, for instance, we're targeting Zillow, people that are looking at Zillow and some of those other things. Just makes sense because they're probably potentially looking to get a mortgage. Obviously, mortgage is pretty hot right now at this time. Will it be forever? Probably not, but that's one client that, and I've worked with the mortgage industry quite a few times, and that's approximately $20 to $30 is the average lead for that. Now it can be up to $50 a lead, and you still will see an ROI. But with our company, we've averaged about 20 to 30. So that's the mortgage. And then home builders, I've had some amazing results. We just launched 1 week ago, and they had 26 leads.
Wow.
In 1 week, less than a $300 ad spend. But I'm going to put a but on there. Some of those leads we learned from. See, a lot of people say, am I going to get results off the bat? Like right when you start with Facebook ads. I have absolutely never guaranteed that. That's why when I work with people, I do it for 4 months. I have the initial setup takes approximately 30 days. And then we do 3 additional months to make sure that it's working. And they got those leads, but once they started getting on the phone, they realized some of the people they're in Southern California, and some of the people wanted to build a house in Oregon. Some of the people wanted to build a house in Northern California, for instance, and they are focused in Southern California. So now we have changed the wording and changed the questionnaire, because we ask them some qualifying questions to really make sure that we're getting the Southern California market. So you learn, and we changed it. We're still getting leads. Will they maybe cost a little more? Maybe, but wouldn't you rather pay a little more to have them more qualified?
Well, and so part of the reason you do 4 months is because of the testing and the ability to see what actually works better than the other stuff, because it doesn't make sense to just do a thing and keep doing that thing, right? So
unless it works off the bat, exactly. But
if it ain't broke,
I've had a
don't fix
couple
it.
of those. Yeah, if it's not broken, that's what I said to the mortgage. I said, they're like, well, I think we need to change it up. I'm like, it's working. Let's keep that going. We could test some other things, but let's keep that one going because it's working. But it took us a little testing to get there, so that didn't happen overnight either. So I think the big point I'm trying to get across here is that it's not always an overnight success with Facebook. I have talked to so many business owners that say, I tried Facebook ads, they didn't work. I hear this all the time. Well, what did you do with the Facebook ads? Well, I hit that little boost button, by my, right. And I spent $20. Oh, okay.
Put 4 nickels at it, and it didn't work in 4 seconds, so I was done. Well, and Janet, you've been really diving deeper and deeper and deeper into Facebook ads since we've been doing this show, and we've been doing this show for 5+ years now. So
exactly.
You've taken courses, you've been in private Facebook social media groups that teach you how to do this stuff. You read shit on it every single day. You are a true practitioner of your craft who has done a really good job of narrowing her craft, because listen, advertising on the internet's, you could do all kinds of different things, but because of that, you need someone that's really specialized in the thing, because there's too much to do. So I like how, I always talk about, you can dig 100 1-foot wells, or you can dig 100-foot well. You're a 100-foot well person, and I think there's a lot of value to that, especially for folks that know Facebook is a need and something they want to get into.
Yeah, and the internet got too big. I used to do it all. Yeah. I used to put people at the top of Google, SEO, LinkedIn, everything. But the internet got too big, and I think this has time. And I really love helping the smaller businesses, and this is a place that you can get results as even a small business, whereas there's other digital marketing efforts that would cost a fortune. And I like to compare. One thing, I did an interview recently with who was the Chamber of Commerce, and we were talking about just the cost of ads. And think about this, even if you're paying my fee and you're paying for your advertising, let's just say it's $2,000 in a month. That's probably the average that, I work with the small business. But how much would you pay to do, let's say your dentist office, to do a blanket postcard mailing that you don't even know if you're going to get any results? How much would you pay for a newspaper ad? How much would you pay for a billboard? How much would you pay for a radio commercial? Like, I think the one thing that's happened with the space of social media is businesses got really spoiled because it was free when it first started.
Right.
And then they went that direction. Businesses went that direction of, I'll just post on social media. It's organic. Everybody will see my stuff.
Everybody.
Well, everybody will see my stuff. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
All 3%.
Yeah. So bottom line is, I think that the mindset has to shift back to how much were you spending in advertising back, or how much are you spending on other places that maybe you want to shift your money over to where you can really get trackable results with Facebook ads.
I love that. That's a great point, because you can actually see, I had a car dealership client a while back, and his line was, if I spend $1 in advertising and it brings me $1.50, the budget's unlimited. I will spend that dollar every single second of the day. I'll just keep doing that, because why wouldn't you?
Exactly.
So, and you can actually, like you said, trackable results. You can show you what the return on your investment is. And that's a powerful value proposition, Janet E. Johnson. So good for you.
Yeah. So that's the bottom line. Those are just some of the results. I've worked with Botox clients. We had $5 leads that were true leads that, name, email, contacted her. So there's many different types of businesses, but lead generation for a small business, if you know what you're doing with Facebook ads, really isn't that difficult. It just isn't. It might take some testing. It's all about learning the audience. I'm working with a lawn care company, helping them, and they had a little more resistance because I think that, and I didn't set up the audience. I think that was one of the pieces. So sometimes I work with people and they do parts of it, and then they ask me for help for parts of it. And the audience, finally went in and went, your audience is messed up. And that was part of why we weren't converting well, and now we are. So there's just so many variables. So my recommendation is really learn Facebook ads and know what you're doing with them, and really, really understand that it does take audience testing. It takes creative testing. It takes offer testing. There's a lot of variables with it, and you want to track your leads, not just a link click or something like that. You want to know the true conversions. Learn it yourself. You could do that. I have Ads ROI Academy. It's adsroiacademy.com. You can learn it yourself, or I have the full service, and you can reach out to me through Business Growth Time, or just email me, janet@janetejohnson.com is probably the easiest way to get a hold of me.
There's an E in your name?
Yeah, I know. We've said that. Even. It stands for even today. And my goal isn't for your business to break even. My goal is for a business to make a profit. There you go.
Good throwback on that. I like that. I think I've said this once or twice. I think you did finally tell me what your middle name was, like 6 months ago. I think I finally asked. I'm trying to remember. Was it Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
Because I was funny. Like, I think it's Eunice, but I'm not sure.
Eunice, that's great.
Awesome. Well, good times. This is cool. We'll have to have people see this. So send it out.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Terry, for your time, and thank you guys for listening. The Ernies, and people probably listen to this and go, "Who is Ernie? How did we ever come up with that, Terry? Let's explain real quick in 30 seconds."
So our friends Ralph and Carol, right? And they had named their audience, and we had this E-word thing going that we started like day 2 of this podcast 150 episodes ago. It's like 147 E-words I've come up with, by the way. Probably 142 if I'm being honest. I'm sure I've repeated a couple. Anyway, so Ernie seemed like a great E-word for our audience name. What else could it be?
That was it. Yep. So thank you, Ernie, for joining us. Girls can be the Eunice.
Ernie's and Eunice's.
All right, this was good. And we do have great past podcast episodes where you can find those at businessgrowthtime.com/podcast. And then we also have a Facebook group, businessgrowthtime.xyz. We would love a review if you like what you've heard with our podcast episodes. We'd love a review on iTunes so that we can hear your feedback. Thank you so much for your time.
Spirit. Only one other episode in the whole shooting match. It's the Spirit.
Oh, I know. We have Santa Claus with us. All right. Have a good day.